Exam season is about 3 months away now and you are struggling to motivate yourself. So today we're going to be looking at 5 steps that you can walk through to get that motivation going. And we're going to be looking at techniques used by well-known celebrities like Conor MacGregor, Beyonce, Katy Perry, Will Smith, and many more. So stay tuned if that sounds useful. Now, whatever stage of revision you're at right now, maybe you haven't started, maybe you're trying to start, but it's just difficult to put in the hours because it seems so far away, or maybe it's just too stressful to even think about. Whatever stage you're at, you need to find a way to get that motivation and put those hours in. So what I put together is 5 steps that I've used in my own life and I've seen other people using, students that I used to teach that were really successful using, and put them together in an easy to understand way so that you can use them yourself. Before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for weekly revision tips. We release every Tuesday evening. Okay, so when I'm talking about these steps, what I do is use them in the order that I'm about to talk about, because they're going to link in with each other and they're going to be most effective if you're using them in the correct sequence. So step number 1 is get that goal into your subconscious. Now that might seem confusing what that actually means, so let me put it in another way. Right now, the exams don't feel real to you. They probably feel so far away. 3 months is a really long time that it kind of seems like this mythical time that people are talking about, but you can't really feel. It doesn't feel real, and therefore it's really difficult to motivate yourself. If you can't feel something is real, or you can't see something right in front of you, then it's really difficult to actually put in the work for it. So there are really simple visualization techniques that can help you make it feel real, to anchor it in your core, and that should be the starting point for motivating you. So there's 2 ways of doing this used by celebrities. Number 1 is mental visualization, and this one's used by Conor MacGregor. And what he does is before every fight, he visualizes every aspect of the fight itself before going into the ring, to the extent that he's actually been called out by the media as being a psychic because he's managed to predict exactly what is going to happen in the fight pretty often. Amazing. It's a really powerful tool. So maybe try spending 5 minutes, you can even pause the video and try it now. Close your eyes and imagine what it's like to be in that exam hall. Imagine walking through the door, imagine sitting down, imagine the type of pen you're going to use. As real as you can make it, the more real it's going to feel in your brain. And this is really going to anchor it and make sure that you're motivated. Another type of visualization is a vision board. And this is one that's used by Beyonce, Katy Perry, and other people. And a vision board is essentially a load of pictures that you put into a sheet or a board that are going to inspire you to do well. So just to give you an example, Beyonce, when she runs on a treadmill, apparently she has a picture of an Academy Award in front of her, or an Oscar, which is what she's aiming for at the moment. So every single time she's running and her brain has time to reflect, she can picture what she wants. She needs to get that goal into her subconscious. So what I do for you is exactly the same. In your revision area, get yourself a revision board, get yourself things that you're aiming towards, maybe things that you want to be when you're older. What job are you working towards, and how are these GCSEs and A-levels going to help you get there? Have it there all the time so that your subconscious is absorbing it as you're doing that work. So that's step number 1. Anchor it, visualize it, put it into your subconscious. And that leads us on nicely to step number 2, break down that mountain. Now, what do I mean by break down that mountain? It sounds slightly ethereal again. By breaking down that mountain, I just mean that the revision period seems like this incredibly big task right now, and you probably don't even want to touch it because it just seems like way too much work and impossible to even navigate. So it's really good for your brain to see a breakdown of your revision. So what do I mean by this? Have a look at what just popped up on the screen. I've just broken down here the science GCSE into biology, chemistry, and physics. I've then just put a simple square for each of the topics that I need to go through with certain bullet points in there. Now that seems a lot less scary to surmount than me just thinking, oh my god, I have to do the whole of science and it's going to take me ages and I have no idea where to start. Break it down visually, because your brain can deal with chunks of information much better than it can deal with something that it can't comprehend. And you don't need to do it as neatly as this. You can literally just do a little doodle, get some colours in there, and then as you manage to go through each of those topics, just tick it off, and then it feels really good. Now step number 3, this is the simplest step, but I think it's one of the most important. Just start. Sometimes starting revision is the hardest thing, because again, it seems like there's so much to do. Where do I even start? Just start, whatever it is, get the momentum going on it. My example in my life right now is that I've stopped going to the gym and it feels like going back is going to be so difficult. And what's the point, because I've lost so much progress? Just start. I'm actually going to go directly after we finish this video, because getting that momentum on the gym, even if I'm just doing 15 minutes, is going to be much better than not doing anything at all, because there's this wall of inertia in front of me. So exactly the same with revision. If you don't know where to start, doesn't matter, get the ball rolling and just start something, even if it's 15 minutes, making a mind map of history. Number 4, setting yourself up for success. Now I'm gonna do a whole video on this because there's so much to say on this, but this is really important to do, is get the basic things right that's gonna make sure that your well-being and your general outlook in life is strong, so that you can absorb that revision information and just be generally happy while you're doing it. So things that are going to set yourself up for success: exercising, eating properly, getting outside, still seeing friends and being sociable as if you were living your normal life. You still need these things to keep you going. Other things that will set yourself up for success is organising your revision properly. I've made other videos in more detail for this. Making sure you have daily habits and routines that get you in the mindset of work. For instance, I have a morning routine that I might go over in a later video that makes sure my day is going to be great. Making sure that you get rid of all distractions. The number one for me, and I'm going to say this in loads of videos, is your phone. Just turn it off. When you have revision in front of you, just turn it off, because your brain hates multitasking between the revision and the phone. And number 5 is celebrating success. Now it seems really obvious, but this is really overlooked quite a lot of the time, because you feel like you have so much work. I don't have time to celebrate anything. What I do is, the end of every week, if you've put in those hours of revision, reward yourself with something. And you can tell your parents this and maybe get them involved as well. Now, firstly, what you need to do is think about what you want your reward to be. What does celebration look like for you? For me, it would probably be something like going to the cinema, because I love the cinema. So at the beginning of the week, I'd make sure on the Saturday or Sunday, if I put in their work, I could go see a Marvel movie or something like that, because that's something I'd really love. But maybe it's something different for you. Maybe it's just a dinner, or maybe it's, well, it could be anything, seeing your mates. But make sure you know that that is going to happen, so you are celebrating your work that you're doing, because you totally deserve it. So those are 5 steps to motivate yourself. So just as a recap, firstly, start by visualizing and getting that goal into your subconscious. Number 2, break down that mountain. Make sure that the task you're about to do doesn't seem like it's impossible by breaking it down visually. Number 3, just start. Don't overthink it. Start the revision if you haven't already. Number 4, set yourself up for success. Just get the basics right. And number 5, celebrate your success. So I hope this video has been useful. If you've got any more things that I've missed out on how to motivate yourself, things that have worked for you, then please do comment in the comments below. I'll be replying to all comments that come through. Hope this was useful. Until next time, see you later.